Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of Nerds. And for today's opening week review, we are going to be reviewing Root Film. But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Let's jump right into the gameplay footage. In 3, 2, 1.
So Root Film is a game for the Switch and PS4. It was developed by Co-ople Games, and it was published by Co-ople Games, P-Cube, and Clouded Leopard Entertainment. This is a visual novel type game.
Right, yeah, I couldn't imagine playing this on the PS4. It feels like these visual novels are just sort of designed to be on the handheld Switch, where you could take it on a bus ride, a train ride, long flight, you know, whatever, if you had to travel somewhere long distance and kind of just keep yourself entertained.
Yeah,
it's some downtime.
It is a visual interactive novel, but it's definitely something for a more casual setting, being able to sit there with a handheld. I agree.
Right. So, this game is about a film crew that is trying to solve a couple different mysteries. Now, there are a couple different chapters. I'm currently on the second story, and there's chapters within the story. So I'm on the second one. The third one looks like it follows a different character, which is kind of interesting to see. You know, different stories with the same character. So basically, you're traveling all over Japan, finding clues, interviewing witnesses. Really, you're supposed to be there shooting locations for an upcoming film, but you kind of get caught in this, you know, web, and now you're just trying to figure out what happened and, you know, what's going on.
Yeah, as you're finding the clues, you may come across somebody.
So yeah, so here you kind of look at the crime scene, and later you can click on these individual items and get more detail about them. I didn't do it in this because I didn't want to be spoilery, but just kind of give you a vague what kind of happened in the story. So that you just saw the big map,
And then as you talk to people, they may come up with a phrase, like in this scene here, they'll come up with a phrase that you have to click on really quick. And that is a phrase that you have to remember. It is a synesthesia phrase that you have to memorize later for a word battle, like what's going on here.
Right, so they call this max mode, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. This is so out of left field. I mean, you're having a conversation, a semi-interrogation, although you're a director, not a police officer. There is still this, so you're gathering those
Synesthesia
phrases and storing them in this bank, and then you spit them out to the guy you are interviewing or interrogating. And if you pick the wrong one, the bar will go towards the unresolved. Now, I never actually lost one of these, so I'm not entirely sure what happens if you just don't get that information and the conversation ends and he stops talking to you or becoming a witness. But eventually you keep hitting him enough that it goes all the way over to that truth revealed, and you crack the egg. You get all of the gooey details he has, which was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, so you get more clues to help solve the mystery. And as you can see, just from, even though it is all still art, the artwork is very beautiful, and the music is fun too, but and the characters are very expressive, as you can tell, not just in their voices but also in the game. So you can see they have to be very expressive so you kind of understand a little more what's going on with the battle.
Right. So one thing, probably the biggest strike we have against it is that it's only in Japanese for the speaking roles. I wish there was a way to switch it to English, but I understand you'd have to hire 2 different voice casts, and that would get expensive, and then other languages would feel left out. But that's probably the biggest knock on it for us.
Yeah.
So we put all of our games into one of 3 categories. Play means it hits the consoles as often as possible. Display means you break it out when the urge strikes. And stay away means you leave the store for someone else to get. And for us, Root Film is a display. It's a really interesting story. All the different little cases you get to solve. But it's not something I'd want to do every day.
It's something you can sit back and relax to and solve a mystery.
That's right. It's a book on your Switch. Like that's all it is. It's, you select things. I guess I haven't seen like a complete fail. I've went to a location and had nothing to do there, and it just pops up on the screen. Oh, there's nothing here. But it wasn't like I had any sort of penalty or like for picking the wrong answer. Nothing really happened. So
just kind of waste your time, I think.
Right. It's just if you want to read a book on your Switch, Root Film is a fun game to do that with.
Yeah.
Mary's not as big on the visual novels as me.
Well, I'm also one of those people that, because I'm sitting back and watching you play, I want to be able to, at times, just listen or, glance up when I can and still be, I can catch up by looking away every once in a while. Because a lot of times I might be doing like my crocheting or something. And in this, if I look away, then I'm not reading.
Right, yeah.
So I can very easily lose track of what's going on in the game and the story.
Right. So we need some English-speaking designers to make a visual novel game so we can try it out and see
what we think about it then.
Yeah, if it holds up a little bit better. Well, that'll do it. Let us know in the comments if you've played this or if this sounds interesting to you. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Pumpkin, what'd you do today?
I built a fire pit. I moved a stack of wood over to a different location. I moved a pile of brush to a different location. I rolled some giant logs to a different location in our yard. And I took out our old fire pit. And I dug up some flowers and replanted it. And it worked.
Yeah. Cleaned some PS2 games.
Changed out the water in the hot tub.
Yeah, that was a big joke.
Oh,